A lot of the food there is fantastic. Common dishes that missionaries got, we would always get beans, either liquid or solid, with tortillas and eggs for breakfast and cream and cheese. And that's like, as a missionary, it's like, you love it. They'll feed you all the time. There's one called papian, which is chicken. They eat lots of chicken and lots of spices with rice. But this is a chicken dish with vegetables, and it's like a soup kind of thing. They call it caldo, which is broth. They have lots of those. Caldo de res, which is soup broth of cow, some form of meat or beef. I loved the drinks they had. They called them frescos, which is just fruit drinks. Like they basically take fruit, water, and sugar and blend it up in a blender. Also, they had Jamaica, which is like a tea, but it isn't. It's a flower, and it's pink, and it's sweet, and it's the best thing ever. They don't eat a lot of desserts there. Their desserts basically is like atole de elote, which is basically a drink made from corn and sugar and cinnamon. And that's, a lot of them think of that as their treat. They do some form of like flour tortilla with cinnamon on it, but they're not a very sweet, they don't eat a lot of sweets there. They like the hearty stuff, like the bread. The pan dulce, I guess, could be their dessert too as well, but they like the rice, they like the chicken, they like the carne asada, which is like beef, almost like steak, but like pressed in a presser, and it's thin. I don't know how to explain it too well, but they would have that with onions and tomatoes on top, and it's good. They like their food, and they do a good job making it. Some of my favorite store snacks that you would buy are called chokis, which are just chocolate chip cookies, and they had different versions. They have ones that are chocolate in the middle, on the outside, or chocolate anyway. They're really good. Or little chips, they're called Takis. You can get them different flavors too, and they were only a kit. Some crazy foods that I have had is duck, which is really good. How the member made it, how the lady made it. Some weird, other more obscure stuff is turtle. And this investigator, he kept trying to get me to eat the lungs and the intestines, and I told him I ate the leg. I think that's about as good enough for me. They also have poi. They eat the legs of the chicken. They boil it in water and soup and vegetables, and then they give it to you. I luckily didn't get to eat that, but I ate pata de res, which is the foot of a cow, which is very fatty. Really, it's weird. It's so weird. I actually was on a transfer with the sister trainer leaders, and we had it at the member's house, and she and I ate the most of it as we could, but she had a plastic bag in her backpack, and we sadly dumped half of all the fatty weird stuff in her bag, and then while the member walked away to get some more stuff, I felt bad, but I'm like, I couldn't eat any more of it. It was too gross.